All right. Welcome back, chaps and chapettes, to the newest episode of the Chaps Chat with me, Connell B. Doyle. Listen, guys, I think we're rapidly approaching episode 80, and just looking back at all the episodes, it's been mad. The different countries, the different backgrounds. It's been pretty insane that we're here, episode 80, even after a couple of year hiatus from posting and banned YouTube channels and new YouTube channels. But yes, chaps and chapettes, we're back, and this episode is about being white and proud, boys. Alright, and a lot of people are going to be sitting in their seats right now giving us a big cheer, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh bro, no, I hate it. We've been getting a lot of hate on YouTube recently, and I've been getting a lot of hate in real life, on Instagram Reels. Never in real life. Fortunately, it's very rare, but listen, we're going to get into that. So as you guys know, this is how the show runs. We talk about life for a while, and then we get into the main topics, the discussions, the questions that you guys have sent me. So yes, I appreciate everybody who is on the new Chaps Chat YouTube. I appreciate everybody who's subscribing and who's got the notifications on. And as always, love all the Spotify listeners. You've been the most loyal people ever. I actually recently put all my analytics into ChatGPT and Gemini, and asked it to analyze, because I've been looking at my YouTube. I'm like, we're kind of sitting around the same views all the time. And then YouTube came back to me, and I was like, do I make a new channel? Is something going on? And YouTube actually said it was surprising how much of a loyal community I've based on YouTube on my Connell B. Doyle channel. And it's impressive. So we're going to just keep going. This week we've got a vlog coming out where we counted how many black people, we drank every time we saw a black person. And safe to say we got very, very drunk very, very quickly, and it's a hilarious video. So that's coming out this week. It's coming out in a few days here. And yes, I'm actually meant to be in Paris right now. I'm meant to be in Paris. As you can see, I've got no David by my side. It's a solo episode. And I'm meant to be in Paris meeting Bobby Misner. For anybody who doesn't know, Bobby Misner is a famous YouTuber. He's one of my best mates. He's a billionaire son. His dad is a hot shot. Bobby's a hot shot. You know, he took his dad's fame and became a big time YouTuber. So meant to be with him right now. But David, who's often on the show with me, my best friend who's in all the vlogs, David actually is away on a family holiday here for 2 weeks, and he left 2 days ago. So David leaves the house, right? And the bins are getting collected. And this is why I'm not in Paris, all right? So David leaves the house, goes on his family holiday. You know, he's going to put his feet up. He's going to relax, enjoy the sunshine in his family's presence. And he said, Connell, do me a favour, throw out the bins. You know, you're just going to do it. I said, leave it, I'll do it. He's like, yeah, do me a favour, stick them around where the bins get collected. And this is genuinely why I'm not in Paris, because this story is disgusting. It is one of the most disgusting things that's ever happened to me. I sent David the video. I don't think he's seen it yet. But I am sitting playing Xbox, alright, playing some Minecraft, and I just hear this intense rustling. And I'm like, what on earth is that? So I take the headset off. I'm like, what is that rustling? It's coming from the bin bag. I'm like, oh my God, is there like a rodent? Is there a rat? Is there a mouse? And I'm like, can't be. And I mean, the rustling is insane. I've actually got a video of it. I sent it to Gemini, and I asked it like roughly how many of these insects you think were in there. And it said, by the sound of that, that is roughly 2,000 to 5,000 for it to physically move. The bin bag was moving. Essentially, right, this bin bag wasn't old. It was maybe like 3 days old. Whatever we put in there obviously had a maggot, and it filled with thousands of maggots, so much so that whenever I'd got in to start playing Xbox, I actually heard it through the headset. What is that rustling? That's insane. And then there you go. Just like 2,000 to 5,000 maggots in a bin bag, which is infestation. So I lifted the bin out, and there was maggots like had eaten through the bag, So it cleaned the floor, and I was like, I can't go to Paris, because if I go to Paris and David comes back to his house, and there's like a million maggots of bread. This is going to go down well. So that's just happened. That's just happened last night. I had to throw that all out. And yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So I'm preempting this Chaps Chat episode so that we can I can just travel and hit the road. I don't know where I'm going to go this week. My plan was Paris. I'm thinking of just maybe getting a villa in Spain and just chilling for a couple of weeks, enjoying the sunshine, maybe filming a couple of vlogs, but we're ahead of schedule with the vlogs. So yes, that's all just happened, chaps and chapettes. And then really the social media world right now is getting insane. A lot of you guys are seeing, we're getting a lot more popular, getting a lot more attention. Tension's rising in the world right now. Like usually I just want to talk about going out and clubbing, etc. Talk about girls, talk about clothes, talk about all that, but it just seems that this is like the forefront of our life right now, which is just kind of political stuff, which is a bit annoying because I actually don't care about politics. I actually just don't care. It's not something I'm interested in. It's not something that I want to talk about all the time. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, but I don't want to talk about it all the time. But I actually also have to do a public apology here. Sorry, just speaking on the realm of politics. Got myself into a bit of political drama myself. Not drama, but I called out an Italian influencer, said he was gay. And then a couple of my friends reached out to me, were like, actually that guy's really nice. It's pretty uncalled for, to be honest. Obviously I did think the video was gay. That's why I said it. Because me and him then, I had to reach out. I was like, bro, I've heard that he wasn't impressed. He left a couple of hate comments, which I didn't care about because like you get what you give, you know. But I heard he's a nice guy, so I reached out. That's Lorenzo Caccioloni, and reached out to him. Apologised, like, bro, do you know what it is? It's my bad. Shouldn't have really called you out. Shouldn't have said your video was gay. Not cool. Actually isn't cool, especially if it's somebody who's right wing, who's like, you know, doing the right thing. His heart's in the right place. He's trying to change the world for the better in his eyes. Just like me. Just like me. You know, so I reached out, had to apologise, said, bro. And we hashed it out. He was like, you know, man, why do you speak badly of somebody that you don't know? And I was like, because it's what I think is true. Like, I did think that video is gay. I do think that we are getting a bad reputation now. He was a bad example, which is my point. Like, I shouldn't have called him out because he is a nice guy. He has got his heart in the right place. But there's a lot of people out there who are posting content that isn't good, it isn't right, and it's making people in, you know, that right-wing political sphere look cringe or gay and stuff, and the left wing just have so much aura at the minute because they're just cancelling everybody left, right and centre. But yeah, like, you know, it's funny. See, when I started social media and I started the podcast, so many young men reached out to me about mental health. And I quit the podcast because I'm not a therapist. I had a young guy come up to me and tell me that he was going to unalive himself. And he started finding enjoyment and he started sending me questions on the Chaps Chat. And I started helping him. In his words, I started helping him. And I helped him, you know, as part of the moving out of that struggle. I was part of his, you know, getting his mental health in order. Essentially, does that make sense? Like, I played a part in him losing that suicidal intuition that he may have had. And I quit my podcast after that. I was in Exeter. He told me that story. I said, I'm done. A few guys have heard this story. I've talked about it before, but I said, I'm done. I'm not a therapist. I can't help you. I can't help you. I've got my own problems. I'm nuts in the head myself, you know? And, oh, by the way, Mr. McGinn, I'm gonna shout him out for that, because he said something to me a while ago. Hopefully I remember to get back to you on this topic. But anyway, Mr. McGinn, actually, I'll say it quickly. He was this is like I'm gonna say you were a fan initially. Right, I'll get back to the mental health thing. I'm gonna take a quick side note. I'm gonna say you were a fan when I first met you because I'd never met you before. You'd seen the videos, you listened to the podcast. Essentially, this is the wildest like fan interaction I've ever had, right? And it was me. I definitely saved the relationship for a guy, right? I saved a fan's relationship. This is how it's going to be clipped. I'm not going to say your name in the clip, mate, if you're listening. But now me and this guy are friends. Like, I follow him on my private account. I'll message him. I want him to come over to Amsterdam. I want to go link up with him soon. Like, when I come back to Ireland, I want to like go beering with this guy because he's cool, really cool. But the premise of our friendship developed because he'd seen content. I'm saying fan. I hate saying that because it's just clippable, bro. When I clip this story, your name's not gonna be in it. I'm only saying Mr. McGinn is a code name. But anyway, right? So I'm in a pub one night, right? One night I'm in the pub, and this guy comes up. Watch your videos. And I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. We had a really good fun night. We rock and rolled that night. Some crazy stuff happened. We actually thought we were about to get arrested for something that had happened. That's another story. So I had a great night with him. We rock and rolled that night, and we were worried we were going to go to jail for something that we had done. Anyways, about a week goes on, and there's a girl I'm banging. Alright, so I'm sleeping with this girl. This is only a few months ago. Sleeping with this girl, and it's super casual. I don't want anything with her. She had kids, not for me. Right? I grew up with her. Beautiful girl. Kids, no fucking chance. Sorry, not happening. Right? And she's talking about her Hinge dates and stuff. I'm like, oh, good for you. And then she says, you know, this guy's messaging, or sorry, then it's not even this guy. She's telling me about yada yada yada, right? But she's talking about one specific guy, and I don't think anything of it. And she's talking about this guy. She says his first name. I just didn't think, what's his surname? Do I know him? I didn't care. I'm editing my video, my recent vlog, and the guy who is what we're calling the fan, he's in my vlog, and the girl I'm sleeping with goes, oh my god, I'm messaging him. That's the guy I'm messaging on Hinge. I'm going on a date with him. So I'm like, fucking, why is he on Hinge? That guy's real fucking cool. He's jacked, handsome guy. Why is that guy on Hinge? You know? Like you're a single mum. You can stay on Hinge, babe. That's what you need to be. No offense, because she's beautiful and she's lovely. She's actually a stupid bitch, but like, anyways, that's another story. We're getting there. So anyway, I'm obviously banging a girl. The guy who'd watched my content, who I met in the pub, who I thought we were going to get arrested together, he is also texting the girl. She's like, should I go on a date with him? I'm like, yeah, do what you want. I don't give a fuck. So she's calling me. She's like, oh, I was on the phone to the guy. I was like, all right, okay. Like, whatever. And I'm like, don't tell him that I've been banging you, because like, that's just weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, he probably doesn't want to hear that. He's just met me the other week. I don't know how emotionally involved he is with the situation. Don't tell him you've been banging me. Anyway, they go on their first date. Fucking straight away, I'm sent a photo of him or her. He sent me a photo of her, and she had obviously made the connection that we knew each other or whatever. She brought it up. Right, whatever. And he says, listen, did you bang Connell? She's like, no. He's like, right, okay. You were just friends with him? She was like, yeah. Never banged him. Never banged him. Never banged him. This is all information I'm hearing further down the line. Never banged him. Lad, I banged the brains out of her multiple times. Like, anyway, she's like, I never slept with him. Never slept with him. Never slept with him. And then I tell a story on the podcast about it, about sleeping with her, about the whole story. He obviously listens to the podcast and then messages me and was like, bro, she has been pathologically lying to me, right? And this is why, this is the coolest interaction I've ever had with a fan. Fact, this is the coolest story I've ever had with a fan. I'm gonna call him a fan because it's a clip. You know what I mean? I gotta clip this shit. It's business, alright? We're mates now. Not a fan at all. I hate saying that, but like, you know what I'm doing. Everybody knows what I'm doing. But he then hears the podcast. He's like, that's fucking her he's talking about, because I never said her name. That's her. That's the exact story. The exact situation. That's it. I knew he was banging her. So then he reaches out to her and is like, you fucking did. He said it on the podcast, you slept with him. She's like, no, I didn't. And then it comes back to me. she's like, Connell's lying. He's lying, he's making it up. He's just telling a story just to try and get views or whatever. And the guy is like, he's like, why would he go on a podcast and just fabricate this story? He fabricated a million stories that are way more interesting. He's not made that up. And this guy, off the back of listening to the Chaps Chat, hearing the story, believing a guy that he'd met once over a girl that he was seeing, he actually got rid of her. Right, boom. See you never, love. Out of my house, out of my pub. Ended it with her. And I just remember the reason I followed this story is just because we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, she's nuts, but I'm also fucking nuts too. So it's like kind of even. And I thought to myself, that's a really good way to think about dating. Like, sometimes you can't look at a girl and be like, oh, you're nuts, because also we're nuts. So that's what triggered me to think about this. And whenever I was saying, obviously, about the mental health, I can't help you because I'm nuts, triggered that story. He is the biggest real one. I love that guy. That is one of my favourite ever stories of the Chaps Chat. Just being like, mate, do you know what it is? Yes, you've heard me tell this story on the podcast. You've ended it with that girl. All because you went, do you know what it is? I trust this guy. I know he's not on the podcast making this up. Over the girl who you've been seeing, you've been texting every day, you've been going on dates with. So cool. Love that guy. I would die for that guy now. Genuinely, like, I actually would put him as like a friend, like a full-on good friend now, purely based off that. That's so loyal. And that's just such a reliable man. Love that stuff. Anyways, back to the mental health. So obviously, in that era, whenever I first started the podcast, you know, like when the Chaps Chat podcast began, and it's not really a podcast, I hate calling it a podcast, it's a commentary, it's a chat, Chaps Chat. I have to say podcast for marketing reasons. But whenever I started this show, you know, the famous show that you all know about now, over 100,000 followers just on the Chaps Chat, which is amazing. Love yous all. Top 5% shows in Spotify. Whenever I started this show, top 5% in Spotify, over 100,000 followers just for this show. Whenever I started it, all the messages were about mental health. And I quit the podcast because of it. I can't help you. I'm messed up on my own. I'm messed up. I drink. I sleep with too many girls. I party way too much. I get healthy and get unhealthy. I'm not a leader. I am now, but at the time, I am not your advice. I'm not your answer. I don't have the answers. I'm trying to find the answers. And whenever more men were reaching out about mental health, I stepped back and the Chaps Chat, done. I can't do this. It's a heavy burden. But at the time, that era, all the young men were messaging about mental health. It was weird. It was always mental health, alcoholism, overusing, narcotics, relationship issues. Now, all the people, this is 2 years later of doing this show, all the young men that message me are feeling isolated from society. It's all about feeling lonely, feeling excluded from society, feeling ashamed of who they are, what their history is. It is insane how it's just flipped. It's just turned. It's just the tides are just changed. It's not an issue anymore of, mental health, I'm not exercising well, I'm not eating well enough. It's actually a case of these young men now are starting to feel disenfranchised from society because of being white. Because of being white. Young men walking down the streets of London, seeing such strong Muslim faith everywhere compared to what they should be, which is devout Christians. But there's not really a devout Christian community anymore. It's not on the streets. It's not in your face like Islam. Islam's in your face. They're telling you, we're Islam. We're coming to take over. But if you say you're white and you're proud of it, no, you're racist. We can say it. You can't. The Jewish community, they've got their own hospitals, they've got their own police, etc. We're proud to be Jewish. If one of us gets rich, 5 of us get rich. But if you say you're proud to be white, oh no. Think about what you did to us. Think about all the colonization you've done. Think about the amount of oppressing you've done. LGBTQ, they've got a month purely for them. If you say, here mate, that's gay in this day and age, if you call somebody a faggot, straight white man, homophobe, sexist, misogynist. So, whoa, how can young white men now feel accepted in society? They can't. They can't, because the minute a white guy takes pride in being white, he's racist. He's a white supremacist. But an Islam can take pride, a Muslim can take pride in Islam. A Jew can take pride in Judaism. An LGBTQ person can take pride in their individuality and their sexuality. Where's the white guys being allowed to be proud to be white? And I actually posted something, and look how scary and frightening this is, right? Look how frightening this is. Genuinely, in all my years of social media, this reaction to this post is the most frightening thing I've ever seen. Like, I'm saying it, this is frightening. Look at this. So I posted a picture a matter of months ago. And it was just me. Morgan. Alright? Just me. My friends. Wearing nice outfits, in nice bars, partying, some funny photos. And I captioned it. It was a collage. It was a multitude of photos. It was like, what do you call that? It was a grid pic or a slide. It was an Instagram slideshow, right? What do you call it? What do you call that on Instagram? It's just multiple photos of me around Europe, partying, seeing friends, etc. in cool places. And I captioned the video, I captioned that photo, "Make Europe Great Again," right? So set the scene. It's an Instagram dump, right? I posted an Instagram dump of photos of me around different places in Europe, and I captioned it, "Make Europe Great Again." There's 169 comments on it, and I'd say 40% are just pure hatred, all because I said "Make Europe Great Again," right? Since you don't like foreigners, get the fuck out of what's going to be my country. You lot are making Europe insufferable again. That is the second comment. You lot are making Europe insufferable again. There's gifs of people throwing up, calling me a private school cock. Another comment, "Stop racism. Since when is saying make Europe great again racist?" Somebody else said, "Europe? ? Great. Like they haven't been at war with each other since they came along and creation of nations and civilization." Somebody then said, "Gay." More gay comments. "You're a fucking joke. Wait until I make you see God." Another comment. Sorry, I'm just looking through this and there's a fly in my bloody face. Pathetic. "Europe is expired. You're a racist pig. You're expired. Big yikes. You look like Charlie Kirk. I hope you end up like him. What a shame. You're an incel." This is wild. Like, racist, sexist, vile excuse for a man. "You're a racist. You are so ridiculous. Kill yourself. You're a pussy." Boys, they are the comments under a normal picture of me and my mates, a collab picture, or that is just comments under an Instagram dump of photos of me in Europe saying "Make Europe Great Again," and I got that reaction. Do you think it would get that reaction if somebody said, if somebody in a Muslim country said "Make Islam great again," "Make Muslims great again"? Would that get that reaction? Would people be calling them racist? If somebody was in Israel said "Make Israel great again," would that get that kind of reaction? Saying they're racist, they're sexist, they're vile excuses for humans, telling them to kill themselves. Something's not right, guys. Something's not right. It's bizarre. It was one of the most mental experiences I've ever seen. I never really look at comments either, so when I read that, I was just like, this is actually insane. Imagine just getting that worked up over somebody saying "Make Europe Great Again." I love Europe. Like, I do love being white. I'm not ashamed to say it. I love being white. I love it. People come at me and give me so much hate. People are trying to cancel me now on the regular. Like, the amount of cancellation videos I see about me daily is bizarre. How many people hate on me. And do you know what? All I tell young men is be proud of what you are. Be proud of what you are. But unfortunately, people just take that as like a race thing. Like I am proud of being white. I have no shame in saying that. We've got some of the most beautiful women. We've built some of the most beautiful buildings. We've built the most beautiful civilizations. We have done some unbelievable stuff. Historically, we are exceptional. White people have been exceptional for innovation, for culture, for food. Our women are beautiful, for our athleticism. Being white is nothing to be ashamed of. And too many people are just shunning that now. Too many people are saying, you're racist, you're an oppressor. It's like, it's just bizarre. Why is every other race allowed to be proud of what they are? Islam is allowed to be proud of being Islams, or whatever you want to call them. Muslims are proud to be Muslim. Jews are proud to be Jews. Blacks are proud to be blacks. But whites aren't allowed to be proud to be whites, because if you are, you're a white supremacist. Know your worth, white boy. You know? And the reason I get so much hate online is because I am proud to be white. Yeah, I'm white. I'm pretty. I'm rich. I don't give a fuck about LGBTQ. I don't give a fuck about Jews. I don't give a fuck about Islam. Get all that. You do your own thing. I don't give a fuck. I love being white. I'm proud of it. I love my ancestry. I love my heritage. I love our culture. I love our structures. I love our athleticism. I love everything about being white. Know your worth, white boy. We're rock stars. We're cool. It's cool to be white. Got the most beautiful women, most beautiful men, most beautiful cultures. And what's wrong with saying that? You know, people are going to come in here. I just know the comments are going to be wild on this. Going to be absolutely wild. And one other thing, I hate getting too political, but it's important to hear some of this, because I'm a pretty rational person. I'm a pretty even person. I'm actually not. I wouldn't consider myself racist. People will call me racist, I'll take the title, but I would not consider myself racist. I'll say it as a joke, etc. You know, when they're like, oh, what are you? I'm like, oh, racist or whatnot. But I genuinely wouldn't throw that out there. You know, I'm just proud of my heritage. I'm not racist, I'm just proud of my heritage. Every culture can do its own thing. I don't care about different cultures. I don't care if there's, a mitigated proportion of society that are immigrants. I don't care about that. Yes, it is important to have different ideas and different values and different cultures, but it needs to be a moderated proportion, And I'm a pretty neutral person in general. It's just seeing my personal backlash to extremely mild comments makes you think this doesn't add up. 1 + 1 makes 2. And not wanting to lose Irish culture. Like I am Irish. Obviously, everybody here knows, you can hear it. But I can appreciate British culture. And I can respect it despite what they've done to Ireland and the colonising. I look at, for example, private schools. I look at, the fashions coming out of England. I love all that. I think it's class. I think it's unbelievable. I think it's so cool. I look at the hunting culture, the countryside culture in England. It's the coolest stuff ever. I love it. And if I had a chance to live that when I'm older, I will. 100%. I love it. I think it's so cool. But I also love Irish culture. And I can respect all cultures in their own way. It doesn't mean I just want my country to be taken over by it. It's not what I'm saying. Every culture has its ups, every culture has its downs. The English have been fantastic at, exploring the world, innovating. The Irish have been fantastic at working, building countries up, hard work, good Catholic ethics. The Muslims have their, perks, Jews have their perks. Doesn't mean you just want to be overrun by it. One thing people really need to learn, and it blows my mind when people don't realise this, is that once white people start being the minority in each country, you guys do realise that we're not going to get a white pride month. We're not going to get the same treatment that we give to the blacks or the Muslims or the gays or the trans or the Jews. We're not getting the same treatment. We're not going to get a black pride month. We're not getting that. We're going to be the minority and we're going to be told, haha, that's what you get. They're not going to build museums for us. They're not going to have a white museum. They're not going to put all our accolades there in a museum. Say, this is all the great stuff the white people have done. Treat them better. We're not going to get that. We're going to just get beaten down and oppressed and isolated. They hate us. That is the thing. They hate us. It's not going to be a case of, oh, now the white people are a minority. Let's treat them better. Let's make some white rights. It's going to be, actually, mate, you know what it is? You guys got what you fucking deserved. That's what it's going to be. But white people we're not going to get made a minority. It's going to turn. The world's going to turn. But yeah, boys and girls, that is the rant of politics pretty much over. I'm going to check my notes now and see what else I've got to talk about. I feel like I'm constantly talking about politics in this show now. And just racist stuff. It's getting a lot of engagement. So people are kind of like loving it. I got a message as well yesterday. I actually got a message yesterday, and it said, I've got a massive platform. I should use my voice more efficiently. Use my voice to make a stand, to make a good statement that's going to impact people. And what statement would I give? If I could say anything, I'd probably just say, up the rat. Hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm getting 40 million views a month. I'm making good money. I've got a successful business. I've got this massive platform. Loads of young men, young women listen to me. They want to hear what I say. If I could say anything to all of them directly in their ears right now, one message to every person, what would I say? And I would say, up the rat. That's what I'd say, baby. Come on. Come on, All you English boys can't be sitting there going, oh no, Connell, no, you're allowed to talk about every other race, but you're not allowed to say up the rat. Come on, boys. Chucky Arla. TikToky Arla, boys. We're back, But listen, so the plans for this week is to essentially quit drinking for a bit. We're health maxing. David's health maxing, I'm health maxing. It's great. We're all living the dream. And we're staying clean, we're staying fit, we're staying healthy. And that's what the plan is for the next couple of weeks, boys. Mogging time. Bloody mogging time. And I actually am looking forward to seeing David again and getting the chaps chat, a little less political. Let me know, guys. Do you want it this political? Do you not want it this political? Because I'm excited that, when I'm doing the episodes with David, we're just shit talking. We're talking about nights out and stuff. I like that. When I come on to the podcast 1-to-1, I feel like I have to answer some questions. A lot of it's just political, But anyways, chaps and chapettes, listen, I love yous. I appreciate yous. Thanks for listening again to this yap. And like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. And see you in the next episode. See you.